Elden Ring Nightreign, a complete transformation of the lands between. Next-gen lighting, ultra-realistic textures, a dense, mystical atmosphere that pushes even modern GPUs to their limits. But today, we're not testing this on an RTX 4090 or PS5. We're doing the unthinkable. Running this beast on a GTX 1050, a tiny 4GB GPU from 2016. Can it survive, or will it turn the game into a slideshow? Stick with me because we're testing every setting, low, medium, high, and even extreme, and the results might just blow your mind. Starting with low settings, everything's turned down to keep the GTX 1050 breathing. Textures noticeably blurry up close. Armor looks flat and surfaces lack depth. Shadows almost non-existent or very basic. Foliage density is drastically reduced, making forests look bare and open fields feel empty. Atmospheric effects like fog and mist are nearly gone, and water reflections are completely disabled. The overall aesthetic feels stripped down. But there's still beauty here. The core design of the lands between shines through even without Nightreign's enhancements. The payoff? Pure performance. The GTX 1050 delivers a rock-solid 60 FPS at 1080p almost everywhere, even during large-scale boss fights or explosive spellcasting. Drops are rare, maybe dipping to 50 to 55 FPS in extreme cases. Combat feels excellent here. Dodging, parrying, and camera movement are silky smooth. This is critical for players prioritizing precision in PvP or tough boss battles. The GPU stays relatively quiet too, with only a soft hum from the fans. But visually, you're missing the soul of Nightreign. The Erd tree barely glows in the distance, stormy skies lack their moody fog, and those jaw-dropping lighting effects? Nowhere to be found. If you're on a GTX 1050 and just want raw playability without caring about visuals, low settings are the safe zone. But let's see how far we can push it.
At medium settings, Nightreign's magic starts creeping back in. Textures sharpen noticeably, stonework shows cracks and detail, armor plates now reflect faint light, and grasslands feel fuller. Shadows are back too. Not as crisp as on high, but they add depth to every scene. Foliage density increases, making forests feel alive. Weather effects like rain, fog, and dust storms are now visible, restoring the lands between's eerie atmosphere. Performance remains impressive. The GTX 1050 manages 45 to 60 FPS at 1080p. During exploration, frame rates stay in the upper 50s. In busy zones like Lanedell or during intense boss encounters, dips to the low 40s can occur. But overall, still very playable. Combat responsiveness here is almost perfect. There's no noticeable input lag, and animation fluidity helps with precise dodges and counterattacks. GPU fans now spin up audibly during extended play, and temperatures rise slightly, but still within safe limits. This is a huge step up from low settings visually. The Erd tree's golden light now pierces through fog layers, water bodies regain basic reflections, and lighting feels softer and more realistic. Medium is probably the sweet spot for GTX 1050 users. Beautiful enough to enjoy Nightreign's upgrades while maintaining strong performance. Now let's turn things up to high settings. This is where Nightreign really comes alive. Volumetric fog rolls across valleys, light rays pierce through tree canopies, shadows grow richer and more dynamic, responding to torches and magic spells in real time. Textures are almost at ultra levels, stone walls have a tactile feel, armor sets look museum quality, and skin details on bosses add to their menace. Water surfaces now reflect their surroundings with impressive realism. Performance takes a noticeable dip. The GTX 1050 delivers 35 to 45 FPS on average. During quiet exploration, it's closer to 45, but during boss fights or intense weather effects, dips to 30 FPS are common. Combat remains playable, but you might sense slight input delay during chaotic scenes. Fans are fully engaged here, and GPU temperatures push higher, though the card holds steady without throttling. High settings are a dream for players who value visuals. The lands between at this level feels alive, immersive, and worth the frame rate trade-off. But is there more? Let's push the GTX 1050 to its breaking point. Extreme settings max out everything: ultra textures, full draw distance, advanced lighting, and dense particle effects. The results? Stunning! The Erd tree radiates golden light through thick fog. Reflections in water are crystal clear. Every blade of grass and particle of dust is rendered in exquisite detail. But the GTX 1050 struggles. Frame rate averages 20 to 30 FPS. Calm exploration areas stay closer to 30, but chaotic fights can drag it down to the low 20s. Combat feels sluggish here, with noticeable input delay. Fast action like parries and rolls demand patience. GPU fans sound like a mini jet engine now, and temperatures hover near the upper limit. But for walking tours, screenshots, or cinematic video, extreme settings are absolutely breathtaking. The world feels alive in a way that's hard to describe. It's more than a game. It's an art piece. Extreme is less practical for gameplay, but perfect for showcasing what Nightreign is capable of. So, can the GTX 1050 handle Elden Ring Nightreign in 2025? Yes, but with limits. Low and medium give you a smooth, responsive experience. High settings deliver a cinematic world with some compromises. And extreme? It's a visual feast, but gameplay suffers. It's mind-blowing that a 9-year-old GPU still has this much fight left. But how long can it keep up? Should you upgrade, or are you still holding strong with your GTX 1050? Drop your thoughts below.